Hello, Bravo News Live. We are going to get into all the biggest Bravo news stories of the week, and we are also going to be breaking down the mid-season trailer of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, and I am joined by my Bravo-loving bestie, Morgan Wright. Morgan, how are you doing? Do you have any big plans for the weekend? What is going on in the life of Morgan?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking. I took a 2.5 hour nap today, which was fantastic. I'm feeling rejuvenated. Yeah, this weekend I'm actually going to a music festival in Cleveland that I'm working at. So
Ooh.
that's going to be really fun. It's like the first big concert experience that we've been able to do since COVID. So I'm going to rest up
Ooh.
tonight and I'm going to be working there all weekend. What about you?
That sounds so much fun. I'm working an event on Sunday, but I'll be running around LA all weekend, as I usually do. But we are here to talk about Bravo in our first story about Scheana Shay, who just got engaged. Vanderpump Rules star Scheana Shay is engaged to her baby daddy, Brock Davis. Rumors circulated earlier this week when Scheana stepped out with an engagement, and she confirmed the news to her Instagram. This caption, I said yes, we are engaged. Thank you to Brock for making me the happiest girl in the world, and to Kyle Chan Design for making me the most gorgeous ring ever. Scheana and Brock have been together for the past 2 years and just gave birth to their daughter 2 months ago, Summer Moon. The couple also has a house together in San Diego, but moved to LA to film this past season of Vanderpump Rules, which just wrapped a couple of weeks ago. Brock owns a fitness gym and also is Australian, and he also will be featured as a cast member on Pump Rules this upcoming season. Scheana, do you think we're gonna, Morgan, oh my gosh. Morgan, do you think we're gonna see this play out on the show? Because I feel like they got engaged after they stopped filming.
Yeah, so I mean, we know when the season wrapped, and this definitely did happen afterwards, but I do think that Brock Davies is going to be a huge part of this next Vanderpump Rules season. I mean, in all seasons past, Sheena's relationship status has always kind of been front and center. Sometimes she was called boy crazy, sometimes she was saying rob, 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 rob every 5 seconds. So for the fact that we had a year off from Vanderpump Rules and all these huge milestones happened for Scheana, we weren't able to see them because of COVID. She started dating Brock Davies. She had a baby. They moved in together. So I feel like this next season, we are going to see a whole new Scheana Shay. And I always feel weird now calling her Scheana Shay because she has not been with Shay for quite a long time now. But that's just what we all know her as. I guess we'll know her as Scheana Davies here soon. And I mean, the ring is stunning. I'm happy for her. I
Mhm.
feel like this really is going to be her happy ending that she deserves. Now, I think it's going to be interesting to see, where they have the engagement party, the wedding, because if you can remember, Stassi had her engagement party at Villa Rosa. And I feel like people
Mhm.
always want to use Lisa Vanderpump's house for these, monumental moments. But that does also remind me that Scheana, didn't she get engaged to Shay at Villa Rosa as well? So maybe she'll want to stay away from Lisa's
Mhm.
house. But I'm excited to see these two on the next season of Vanderpump Rules. I really do think that this is her boo.
Yeah, I'm honestly really happy for her. You kind of bring up Shay and some of her exes. So we have to kind of go down memory lane a little bit because Scheana has been known as boy crazy, like as a tale as old as time. I mean, if you have been watching Pump Rules since season one, I mean, there was Shay, who she got married to now, and then she got divorced. She also had a thing with Robbie Hayes, who was on The Bachelorette, and also Siesta Key. She was dating Rob for a while, the guy who can hang a TV in 7 minutes. And then, of course, last season, she ended up dating the manager at TomTom, Max, and we all know how that went. She bought him an Apple Watch, and then he kind of left her for Dana, the new girl. I mean, Scheana has been all over the place with boys for the past 8 years, so I really hope that this is the guy for her because she does deserve it. She's always wanted this. I mean, she has a baby with him, so they're going to be locked down for life regardless. But I mean, I just really hope that this is the guy for her and that this all works out for her. Any last thoughts on this, Morgan? I mean, do you remember Rob, the guy who can hang a TV in 7 minutes?
Of course, I remember Rob. Are you kidding me? She's only said it 5 million times an episode, but we can't forget about Adam either, who was one of
Oh,
her more recent
yes.
exes, who, I mean, what was up with that? They would always say that they're best friends, but they're with each other constantly. We know that they were hooking up. We know that Scheana was in love with him. She bought him a penguin. Do you remember? She named a penguin after Adam because he loved penguins. So Scheana just always does give herself to her relationships, and she just never really got that in return. So I'm hoping that Brock really is that person for her. And I'm just reading Kyle Cook's comment here. Congrats, you two. Welcome to the Engaged Club. I'm not only the president, I'm also a long-standing member. Of course, we know Kyle is engaged to Amanda from Summer House. So, I mean, I'm loving the Bravo engagements. I'm going to love the Bravo weddings, the Bravo babies. I just am 100% here for it.
Yes, and we're going to see this all play out on Vanderpump Rules. Maybe not the proposal, but at least Brock and Sheena's relationship. Sheena's always been a giver, as you mentioned, so I hope that, he is giving as much to her. And I mean, they do film themselves on their YouTube channel a lot and on like their podcast or Sheena's podcast, but I think we'll get a more in-depth, like third eye view on this upcoming season. And the ring is flawless. I mean, that ring is just really, really big. But we have more Vanderpump Rules news to discuss. And before we get into our next story, I want to remind you guys to subscribe, like this video, ring the bell so you never miss out on any future videos. We are going to be doing lots more of Bravo updates and Bravo lives. So definitely stay tuned and subscribe to our channel. And we have to talk about Lala Kent, who is also going to be on this season of Pump Rules. She has gotten herself into quite the mess this week. She seemingly shaded actress Megan Fox, who did not show up to the movie premiere, which her fiance Randall Emmett was the director of, and Megan even starred in. The movie is called Midnight in the Switchgrass. And even though Megan was on the movie poster, she didn't show up, and Lala took a picture of herself at the movie premiere covering Megan's face on the movie premiere and Megan's name. It could not be more that she was directly doing that. Megan said that she did not attend the movie premiere because of the new guidelines in California with the new updated mask rules. And Lala said she meant no shade by it, and ended up deleting the picture off of Instagram. But she still posted it, and I feel like she felt a type of way about it. Now, I know Lala and Randall used to double date with like Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox a lot. Morgan, this is definitely your forte. I know you're a Megan stan. Do we think that Lala was throwing shade at Megan, and why do you think that Megan didn't show up?
Yeah, I think she 100% was throwing shade. Okay. Standing in front of her picture is one thing. That maybe could have been an accident or a coincidence. But when you put the text over her name and you're standing in front of her picture, the two things would just never happen in a million years unless it was deliberate. I mean, especially if you want to nitpick the photo, the only other text in the photo is all the way at the bottom. She literally could have put, "I'm so excited for this movie," right next to the other text that's on the photo. So I think the fact that she put it right over Megan's name, she stood right in front of Megan, definitely shade. Now, I don't know if it's a ploy to get more people talking about the movie, but if it is, I think it's a great way to do that because it's right up in Lala's realm, right? She's kind of known for doing this kind of subtle shade. And this is like a way to get people talking about the movie without like actually talking about the movie, because all over the internet people were talking about Megan and Lala, which then drove people to the movie. I also just don't know. I'm not from California. I haven't been to California since the pandemic, so maybe you can kind of give me a rundown. What has changed in California? And then I'll give my 2 cents on whether or not that was like a real excuse from Megan.
Well, since like last weekend, we now have to wear masks again in indoor settings. I don't know if everyone's going to follow the rules, but that is kind of like the new updated guidelines. I mean, I think Lala was 100% throwing shade, but it might have been light shade, and it could have just been a ploy to get everyone talking about the movie because people don't go to the movie theater anymore. I mean, you could watch a movie perfectly comfortable in your own house. You can go to a drive-in movie theater. So, I mean, I think this could have been like a ploy to get people talking about the movie. Lala did mention that everything was good between her and Megan, and that they really like each other, and that Megan's always been nice to her. But I still think it was shade. I mean, what do you think about it now?
Yeah, well, I mean, especially when you see Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly gallivanting all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, going to Vegas for the UFC matches all the time. MGK has been performing in these packed out stadiums. So I don't know if maybe it's that she just didn't want to wear a mask inside, but it's like, suck it up. You're in a movie. Like, this is your movie premiere. I feel like that reason alone is not a very good reason to not go to the movie premiere that you are starring in. I mean, I'm not an actress, but I feel like I would be excited to go to a movie and see a movie that I was in. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it's kind of a bogus excuse from Megan. Megan and MGK were actually on an Instagram live, and this was all around the same time. MGK was saying, I don't do films that I don't believe in, because MGK is also in this film, and that's actually where these two met, Megan and MGK. And so
Mm.
MGK is saying, I don't do films I don't believe in, except the two look at each other and then they start, giggling and laughing. And Megan's like, no, 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 don't say
Oh.
anything. So it's like, are they talking about this movie? I definitely think they are, especially after all of this debacle went down
Yeah,
this
they
past
definitely
weekend.
are. No, they
Yeah.
definitely are. I kind of read that this movie just like wasn't the best movie, or that it was just Randall didn't do a good job of directing. I don't even know. I think we have to see this movie now. I mean, if this was a whole ploy, I think me and Morgan are going to the movies next weekend to watch this, because now I'm like all intrigued, and I thought that they were like all good friends, but who knows? You guys are going to have to let us know what you think in the comments. If you think Lala was throwing shade, if you think Megan genuinely could not show up, let us know what you think. And I do want to remind you guys, we have a Q&A at the end of today's live. So if you have any Bravo opinions or questions about any of the shows we're talking about, or just anything on Bravo in general, let us know, because we are going to get to the Q&A in just a little bit. But before we get into that, we have to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Morgan, you love Beverly Hills just like me. So let's kind of talk about what happened. Give me the rundown about what happened this week.
Yeah, so I feel a little bad, Zachary, because I feel like we're neglecting all the other Housewives franchises, but it's
I
so
know.
hard to talk about anything besides Beverly Hills, because it's just is like unlike anything we've seen before. Let's be honest, New York is just not delivering like they normally do. And Potomac is
No.
just getting started. I do feel like we'll be able to talk about Potomac more as the weeks progress, but the
Mm-hmm.
world was just on another level with this Erika Jayne car crash story that we got on Wednesday night. That
Mm-hmm.
scene at the dinner table where the revelations about Tom just come out, that he's cheated on Erika. They were insinuating that he had amnesia or maybe Alzheimer's. And then the car crash story that left everybody truly and utterly confused. So to recap it, Erika said that Tom drove off a cliff behind their house, that he was unconscious for 12 hours, and that she found him. But then she said that he called her, and that's how she found out that he was in the car crash. I feel like everybody's head was spinning after this story. I know I was very confused. How did you feel after hearing the car crash story?
Yeah, it really shows how much Erica has hid over the past few years, because they did a flashback when Erica was talking about the story originally, and she kind of told Kyle that Tom broke his ankle. And now that she's revealing all of this, I'm like, wow, like, I'm glad he's okay, first of all. I mean, he could have easily passed away in a car accident. And second of all, I can't believe Erica's just divulging all of this information that she doesn't really have to. I don't know if she just wants to put everything out there and just be completely vulnerable and free, but I'm glad that Tom is okay. And it seems like Erica has really been struggling the past few years, and maybe that is why she's been so guarded and tough and kind of cold, as she's had the reputation of having for the past few years. But honestly, more the story really had me a lot more shook when Erica revealed that Tom has been cheating on her for years. So why don't you kind of fill us in about what she's revealed about that?
Yeah, well, she did say that, he was unconscious for 12 hours or however long it was, 12 hours, and that she just
Uh-huh.
assumed because she hadn't heard from him that he was out with another woman. And then Kyle kind of said, I have heard that before. That's not the first time
Yeah,
that
of
I
course
heard
Kyle
that
said that.
yeah, I mean, but Zach, I want to know if you believe what she said about the car crash, because there's too many inconsistencies for that story
Okay.
told exactly how it was to be 100% true. I know we're glad that Tom was okay. I know that,
Do
Erika's
you believe
being
it?
telling a little bit more. No, I don't.
I'm I don't really like, is it weird? I just don't care enough to believe it or not. Like, I'm more invested in this cheating situation, in this cheating story. I want to know how Tom is like texting, because he probably can't even see, like, no offense, but like, who is he hooking up with? Who is his booty call? And why is he cheating on Erika for all these years? And why is it was just really weird when Erika told Kyle, she's like, where am I going to go? And I'm like, Erika, you are still in your 40s. You're really like beautiful. You have a great career in music. You have a great career on this show. You've really made yourself into a public figure. I feel like Erika should have left this marriage years ago, and maybe she could have been in a happy relationship now. That is what I'm more curious about, to be honest, Morgan. Where do you stand on this cheating stuff?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that Erika and Tom never got married because they were madly in love with each other, right? And they're kind of
Yeah.
reaping the repercussions of Tom wanting a trophy wife and Erika wanting to be, I mean,
A
financially
trophy wife.
supported. I hate to say that because it makes her sound like a straight up gold digger. And I mean, can you really
She is.
call it
I,
anything
I've always
else?
thought she was. I've always thought Erika was
Yeah,
a
and
gold digger since she first stepped foot on the show.
I mean, she kind of saw him as her ticket to being able to be a performer. Now, I know that at the beginning it wasn't like that. She said she was Mrs. Girardi. She, was reserved and quiet, and then kind of later, a little bit later in their marriage, she got the opportunity to kind of release her Erika Jayne-ness. So I think my takeaways from this scene that had everybody just shook with the car accident, and even with Sutton being like, was he thrown from the car? Was the car totaled? Like, I'm confused. You just don't need to tell that story right now unless you're trying to prove something, which I'm thinking she's trying to set it up for he has Alzheimer's, which we have seen in the media. We've seen it in the headlines, to be somewhat of a defense for the two of them moving forward. But too many inconsistencies for me as a Housewives fan to be able to look over. Was he unconscious for 12 hours and you found him, or did he call you and you found him? Like, if he drives off a cliff, don't you think that paramedics would be called? He would go to the hospital. Like, somebody would have notified Erika. There wouldn't have been 12 hours of absolutely nothing unless
Mm-hmm.
literally nobody found him. So I'm having a
Yeah.
hard time believing it. I don't know. I don't know. And now to say that, Tom was cheating on her all these years and now she's had enough. It just is. It's hard for me to believe. I don't know where I stand with Erika Jayne, because I don't like to speculate on whether or not she's completely innocent or completely guilty, because we don't know the truth, and I don't think we ever
Mm-hmm.
will know the truth. But I do have to point out the inconsistencies. And I left that scene feeling like, oh man, if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that Erika does know how to lie, because she's either lying in
Mm-hmm.
this scene or she's been lying for the past 5 years about how great her
Oh yeah.
relationship is with Tom.
She has been lying for the past few years, and she's kind of owning everything this season. I mean, she's been saying that there's been problems in her marriage and that she never wanted to say anything. Even when she told Kyle about the ankle thing, that was a lie. Erika is a great liar, but this season I'm actually seeing more of a vulnerable side with her. Like, she is just really, really going through it right now. And there is a lot of reports. I mean, it's hard to believe everything, but a lot of the reports are saying she's playing victim. She's just trying to get ahead and get out of this court case and just be disassociated with Tom. I mean, if Erika really, the thing is, Erika is divorcing Tom because of these lawsuits, because she's clearly been unhappy in her marriage for years. And now all of a sudden she's divorced. Like, it's just the timing. Like, of course you're divorcing Tom because you don't want to go down with him. So I have a hard time believing her as well. But I also see someone who is very, very broken and hurt right now and very vulnerable. So I also feel for her in that way.
I don't want to be mean. And trust me, I'm trying because I do feel for her in certain scenes, but then I remind myself she is a self-proclaimed performer. And I think that's why I'm just struggling because I have no idea what to believe. One second, I do really want to believe her and that, this is how it played out. And then the next second, I remember that she was the lead role in Chicago. And if she wanted to cry on cue, she probably knows how to do that. But we'll stop the speculation for now because we do want to get into the midseason. I know we really could. I do want to get into the midseason trailer that dropped this week. We're going to break it down clip by clip. So let's just get right into it.
Yeah, let's see.
Season on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
新年快乐 Happy New Year She's so busy posy. Where are the life jackets again?
Go, Crystal. You got it. You got it.
And your hair looks so good.
Oh, see, Sutton and Crystal, they moved on. They're loving each other now, hopefully. I mean, even in the last episode, we got to see a little bit more of that. I don't know about you, Zach, but I like seeing the lighter scenes because we know there's a lot of heavy scenes. I mean, what do you think of this first clip?
Well, definitely a lighter scene as we continue this trailer. It's only going to get darker periodically until the end. But this was such a passive-aggressive comment from Sutton. Your hair looked so good. Like, yeah, remind her that she just fell in the pool and ruined her hair. Like, I think that Sutton and Crystal are going to go into it again. Like, they're not on... I mean, we saw this week they, had a drink together at the bar, but, they're going to get into it again, and I really think they're going to go at it at the reunion. So I cannot wait. I think they're actually going to film that in the next couple of weeks, Morgan.
Ooh, I know. I've been wondering. We haven't seen any photos yet. We always see the reunion photos, but I don't know. I think that the Sutton and Crystal drama is squashed because we know that there's going to be a huge blowout between Sutton and Erika Jayne. So I feel like maybe Sutton's kind of, diverting her energy back to Erika, but we will get to that. Let's take a look at the second clip.
Hi, guys.
Oh, what's happening?
My dog does this.
Kathy.
Everybody's got a skeleton in their closet.
You think?
My family, it all just happens to be out there.
Right.
Okay, Kathy.
Now, we stand Kathy. And I was watching an Instagram live that Kathy did with Paris and Nikki. And Kathy kind of let it slip that the girls were going to be on an episode, that Paris and going to be on an episode. So how do you feel about that?
Oh my God, please. I am so excited to see them. I love the dynamic between Kathy, Paris, and Nikki. And we really never got to know Kathy for so many years. Kathy kind of talks about this in one of her interviews, that she's finally getting the opportunity to show her personality. Also, these seals are in La Jolla, San Diego, which is just so beautiful. I've actually been there, so I'm excited to see them to go on that trip. We're also going to see Rinna Beauty in this trailer. We saw that Lisa Rinna opened up her new beauty line. And then here we have the lovely Kathy Hilton. Honestly, Morgan, I'm going to say something very controversial. I think that Kathy Hilton is becoming a little overrated, only because I just feel like she's starting to play dumb a lot in certain situations. And it was funny at first, but now it's just like, okay, Kathy, stop playing dumb. I guess this is where Paris learned it from.
Give me an example.
I mean, she knows who Hunky Dory is. Come on. What was the point of saying that? I didn't get a kick out of that like everyone else, but I did enjoy the memes.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of part of her humor to act like that. You know what I mean? To just kind of say off the wall things. And when she was cleaning up the glass with the grill brush, I was rolling. I was dying at that scene of Kathy and Kyle in the kitchen with the lasagna and the bread. I just feel like Kathy is such a breath of fresh air. I never thought we would see Kathy on the show because, there's rumors every year that Kathy Hilton was going to join the show. And it was always no. Kyle and Kathy haven't always had the best relationship, but I am absolutely loving seeing these two. I feel like we're seeing a side to Kyle that we haven't seen before. And I know you're a huge Kyle stan. I really have been indecisive about her until this season. But tell me what you noticed different about Kyle in this season.
I mean, I don't know if she got a new Palm Springs house, but it is so beautiful. It looks like a freaking castle. It is so big. Kyle is a lot more laid back this season, and you can really tell that Kyle has like the pulse on the show. I mean, everyone is friends with Kyle. Kyle has like loyalty to everyone. So I'm loving seeing Kyle every season. I'm loving seeing her with Kathy. I hope that Kim Richards shows up throughout this season. And I'm just excited to break down the rest of this trailer because there is a lot more drama going on.
Yeah, let's get into our next clip. I'm thinking we're going to see a lot more of Garcelle in this one.
Yes.
A true friend does not disappear when the problems come.
Amen to that. Want to know who your friends are? Get old and go broke.
She's going to have to answer more than she's comfortable with.
Well,
that's because we deserve to know the truth.
We'll see more of Garcelle in the next one.
Yeah, the next one. Oh my God, Erika's really, she's so defeated. I mean, she's like, you want to know who your friends are? Go broke or go home. Like, she's actually hit rock bottom. This is the true definition of a midlife crisis. Like, I really do kind of feel bad for her in that way. Like, she's going through it and she seems all by herself. Like, she's all alone. Did you catch that moment this week when she was complaining about her pool bill? Because like she was using a heater in her pool. I'm like, this girl is broker than me.
I don't know if she's broker than you, Zach. Trust me. I think she's still got some money in the bank. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I love that Kyle said at the end she's going to have to answer more than she is used to or willing to because we deserve to know the truth. And I think this is kind of the first glimpse we have of Kyle maybe questioning some things because up until now, she's really had that blind loyalty, which I feel you would have with any one of your very close friends. You know, we can sit here and nitpick all day long about that. But if your best friend is going through something, you're automatically going to want to come to their side and defend them. So to hear her say, you know, Erika needs to answer these questions, I feel like Kyle may be starting to question it and, you know, at least want to know more information. Were you surprised by hearing this from her?
I think all the girls want to know information. At first, I think they were all very loyal to Erika and wanted to stick up for her and defend her. But with all these new articles playing out, I mean, it's getting harder and harder to defend her. And, you know, we'll really see who sticks by her at the end because it looks like a few of the girls are going to be turning on Erika. And this is just the beginning. So, I mean, let's take a look at the next clip, Morgan, because it's only going downhill for Erika Jayne.
I think this is Garcelle's
You're
moment
pissing me
here.
off right now. You talk too much, like Dorit sometimes. You've been making a lot of jabs at me. What's you with that?
I am not going to on her when she's at her bottom. That's not who I am. If what Tom did is true, then Tom.
Garcelle is bringing it. I'm living for Garcelle this season. I feel like the show really would not be as good without her. I feel like she's kind of, you know, she does look at things a bit objectively. I know that we saw her say that she's not going to bleep on Erika when she's at her worst, but she's calling it out right here. Are you excited for Garcelle? What do you think about her season thus far?
Garcelle keeps it 100. I mean, she is a realist. She is definitely the moral compass of the show. She is just the person that, you know, her opinion is just like what's fair. But I'm interested to see what's going on between her and Dorit because these two have never gotten to an argument before. I'm kind of excited that there's a little bit more drama going on besides like the Erika stuff. And then we see Sutton yelling at Kyle, which is just ridiculous because Kyle is just so patient with Sutton because Sutton is just so irrational and like Kyle is like the only one who like has the patience for her. But why do you think Dorit and Garcelle are fighting? I mean, at least Dorit will finally show up. I mean, people have been saying that she has barely been on this season.
I mean, she has barely been on this season. She really hasn't been involved in any drama. That one stupid fight with her and Kyle, which was stupid, like I just said. I don't know what the fight between Garcelle and Dorit could even possibly be because we have not seen Dorit at all. Is it about, you know, Garcelle
Erika?
naming her fish after Dorit? I don't know. Maybe Dorit was mad that Garcelle named the fish after her. That's going to be my guess. We have a couple more clips to get into, Zach. Let's keep it moving.
Yes.
If you stole the money, I'd like to know where it is.
The story isn't credible.
There's lies all over the place.
I'm asking you to believe in me instead of an article.
Have we been duped by the lies?
Oh my God, the house husbands.
I know.
You love PK, so what was your reaction to seeing PK?
I mean, I love PK and I love Mauricio. I think they have such a funny bromance. If you follow them on Instagram, they're always doing just the craziest things. But I think it's very open to interpretation because you don't know if the house husbands are talking about Erika or if they're talking about the articles that are coming out. You know, it could very much be that they're saying there's lies all over the place from Erika, or there's lies all over the place from the news articles that are coming out. I feel like Erika, when she says, oh, go ahead.
No, keep going.
No, I don't like when she says, you know, if he stole the money, I would like to know where it is. Like, you know where it is. It's in the private jet.
That's what I was
like,
going to say.
Where do you think,
you know where it is. It is in your wardrobe department, your makeup department, your fashion, your Erika Jayne lifestyle. It kind of seemed like Erika has always needed Tom to fund Erika Jayne, because when Kyle asked about, like, are you still going to continue Erika Jayne? It seems like Erika Jayne is like a big business, EJ Global, that Tom has been paying for the past 20 years. And Erika has always bragged about spending $40K a month on glam. Like, the money went to you, Erika. And I think that's honestly the reason why Tom ended up cheating on Erika towards the end of their marriage, is because Tom probably got so tired of Erika using him for so many years and sucking up all of his money. I feel like Erika has manipulated Tom for so long that he just got tired of her. So I actually think that Erika playing victim now, like, I mean, this is kind of what you get, you get what you get. I mean, I can't really defend her. Like, she's smarter than she's trying to play on.
Yeah, you guys don't forget, if you have any questions, comments, whatever, we're going to get all into that at the end. So feel free to do that while we talk about Erika. But I do like how at the end of this clip, we kind of see the beginning of the fallout between Sutton and Erika Jayne. You know, she's saying, I want you to believe in me and not an article. And it's like, okay, well, when articles have court documents in them, how are you not going to believe the court documents that are against you? Like, oh, it's so crazy. And we know things only get worse between Erika and Sutton. Here's one last clip of when it's all going to just blow up.
Explode.
You ever call me a liar again, I'm coming for you.
You think those were empty threats?
I don't care if they're empty threats.
Guess what, bitch? I'm not threatening, I'm promising. Look at me. Look at my life.
This is where I feel bad for her, because she has truly hit rock bottom.
No mascara running down her face on this one, Zach.
She learned her lesson. But I mean, does Erika really have time to come for Sutton? Like, Erika, you have a lot to deal with. Like, Sutton is so harmless. I think that's why Erika maybe yelled at her, because she's kind of like an easy target because she is so like fragile. But I mean, Erika, she's hit rock bottom. So I'm interested to hear what all the viewers think when we get to the Q&A.
Yeah, it reminds me, do you remember that internet debacle with Erika where she took a meme from a digital creator and she didn't credit them? And the creator asked Erika on Instagram, hey, can you just like shout me out next time for using my image? And Erika Erika lost
Brands
it on
Bravo.
them. Yeah. And
Brands
so
by
I
Bravo.
feel
Let's give them credit.
I couldn't remember, so thank you. I feel like she's doing the same thing with Sutton, where like there's really no merit to her jumping down Sutton's throat because everybody is thinking it. Nobody probably is just saying it because they're afraid to make Erika upset. And Sutton might be the one to say it, even though I don't see her, you know, saying anything to Erika besides maybe, well, is this really true? Or like, she would never be like, you're lying. You knew all along. That's just not her. That's not her character to do that. So I'm really anxious and excited to see the conversation that leads up to this moment. I don't know. What do you think?
To be a fly on the wall during this season. I mean, I just feel so fortunate that we're able to watch this season. The fact that it really all played out while they were filming with all of these articles and everything. I mean, this season is just getting so much more good. And we're only halfway through the season. We just got the mid-season trailer. So I mean, like, there's just so much more to look forward to. And we are going to now open it up to a Q&A. Tell us your Bravo opinions. Ask us your Bravo questions. We are more than happy to dive into Rahoney, Real Housewives of Potomac. Is there anything else you're watching on Bravo right now, Morgan?
No, those are the main ones. I've been super busy lately. And I was saying this on my Instagram the other day that I plan my week by what shows are that night. So like Sunday is Potomac, Monday is The Bachelorette, Tuesday Roni, Wednesday
Beverly
is
Hills.
Beverly Hills. On Thursday, I'm missing Summer House and like, just, like, you know, stalking Paige DeSorbo on Instagram to see if she's with Craig. So yeah, I just there is a lot. How are you feeling about Roni this season? Do you think it's getting any better?
I think Roni has hit rock bottom, Morgan. Like, it's not getting any better. And I really like this new Bershawn character, but I also feel like I don't even know how long she'll stay on the show. Like, she's just not really jiving with a lot of the group. I don't know what is the disconnect with Rahoney. I think it's just that there's such a divide that just makes no sense with like Leah and Ebony, and then like Sonia, Luann, and Ramona on the other side. But
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear what will happen because of all these reports that because it's the lowest rating season, they're pushing back the reunion, and then Ramona doesn't want to show up to the reunion. She might pull like an LVP. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. More of the behind the scenes things is what I'm more interested in with Rahoney.
Yeah.
But what are you thinking about Potomac? Do you like the new housewife, Mia?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's super interesting, which is what you need. You know, you need somebody that's going to spark your curiosity, spark your interest. They're not just like, you know, there. And I think Mia definitely is very interesting to me. I feel like Dr. Wendy is having a bit of a glow up season. You know, she definitely wasn't the center of attention her first season. So I'm excited to see her a bit more. I mean, Karen with the Sing Sing comment, the fact that she said she just made up Sing Sing and that she had absolutely no reason for actually saying that was so funny. I need to know if you're Team Karen or Team Giselle.
Oh, I'm hardcore Team Karen. I can not with Giselle. Like, Giselle drives me insane. I am definitely on Team Karen. I'm not really a fan of Mia. I think she's coming off really thirsty.
Really?
Apparently, she's been a fan of the show for a long time, so she kind of knew what she was getting herself into. Just the way she was, like, asking for Robin and Giselle's number and, like, just trying to be goody-goody with everyone. I'm just like, Mia, you're doing too much too soon. And I don't even know how old you are. You're like, it's just like, I can't with her. Wendy's like doing a lot too, but I kind of like it because I think she's kind of carrying the season. And I'm also like, I love Ashley. Like, I didn't always love her because I cannot with Michael Darby. But Ashley is just like kind of like the most likable on the show right now. And I mean, I'm really excited to see how the rest of Potomac plays out.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and I'm also kind of dipping my toes in Shaw's Sunset and Family Karma this season. So I like to watch those as well. And I think that's everything we have for today on today's Bravo Live. So thank you all so much for watching. Definitely let us know what you guys think of the Beverly Hills Housewives, the New York Housewives, Scheana, Shay, Lala, Kent. Did she really shade Megan Fox? Let us know in the comments below because that is all we have to share with you guys today. Even if you missed the live, you can still share your comments down below. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, and I was joined by my Bravo-loving bestie, Morgan Wright. Don't forget to follow us on our socials down below. Feel free to come say hi and subscribe to our Shared News YouTube channel. Ring the bell so you never miss out on any future videos. That is all we have for you guys today, so we will catch you next time. See you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.